have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street. There's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Hey, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. All right, we're here. We're whole. We're here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 350th episode of the Political Spotlight. I am your host, your sickly host, a little sick. Got a little bit of a throat thing going on, but we'll be all right. Doing well. Sorry about last night. Had some more important things to be doing, but not much is more important than you guys, but I had some personal things to take care of. We are back. We've got a big show. Let's let Joe get through all of his joke here. It's a pretty good one. It's like a long one. Okay, now what? That's funny. I like that one. That's a good 911 joke. So hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Alva. Hello, Chris. Hello, Les. GW, if you're here, and Jeff, and all of you, welcome. Sorry I was not here last night, but we are going to be slamming this evening. We have an amazing episode in store. Me. Hello, Craig. Janny, everybody. I do want to tell you, if you are not following us on all of the socials, you can now follow us right here. Follow us on social media, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, and X. You can also get our email over there on this side right down there. That's a nice new little graphic that we're putting up, so you can follow us there. Follow us on all the places. It's the Political Spotlight everywhere except that weird Facebook page. It's just Political Spotlight 318 there. I'm sorry, it is what it is. But if you're on mine, if you're at Kristopher Bilbrey, which is Bilbrey 318, that's what I consider the main page. But we have a backup page as well. So follow us there. And Hope you guys are doing well. Like, share, subscribe, click, kick, beep, boop, bop, all of those things. And share the show with everyone you know. Of course, that's the most important. Cheryl says, ready for a great evening. Missed you last night. Well, thank you. And I missed all of you. I missed I missed all of you. Sorry, it's that time of year. It's the most wonderful time of the year. I think there's a song. I didn't sing it. The most wonderful time of the year. Like that. Smoke them if you got them. Kate's already partaking. So I'll grab mine up right here. All right, now we're ready to roll. Okay, so I don't smoke, but it's like a cigarette, and it just allows me to do all the cool things that I would do if I smoked, like hold a cigarette like this. Like if I smoked, I would smoke like this, and I would never really hardly do like this. I would do this, like the cool kids do, like that. I'm convinced that smoking does not make you cool, but looking like you smoke is what makes you cool. So don't get lung cancer, kids. Go buy a pack of cigarettes, open the pack, pull one cigarette out, keep that one cigarette as a prop, throw the rest away, and you're ready to rock and roll. I would hold like you would do a J, Get my little bubble. Oh, wait, that's wrong smoking. Sorry. Anyways, bubble's meth, so never mind. Or crack. So, all right. Hey, listen, let me think. Do I have anything big to tell you? So, for everybody that was here last week, we are into it hurts my soul to tell you. I think maybe this evening I'm going to start a new countdown. As of today, we are in day number 6 of sending the exact same email to Dan Ridenour. Now, I messed up yesterday. I inadvertently, here's what I'm doing. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So every day I send the same thing to the mayor, to Amber Green, and to Kate, producer Kate. And I send the same thing. No differences. The only thing that changes is the subject line. And the only thing that changes in the subject line is, well, what you're getting ready to see here in just a moment. So the only thing that changes is where it says questions, day number, whatever it is. And then it says sent. And then I put the date in. And then I put from K. Bilbrey. So that is how I do every one of my subjects. If the subject is a record request, I will say record request for the Henry County Sheriff's Department, sent such and such a date from K. Bilbrey. Or if I'm sending something to Donald Trump, I will say sending this to find out when you're going to release the JFK files, sent such and such a date from K. Bilbrey. So day 1, the email said questions. It just said questions. That's all it said. Sent, whatever the date was, from K. Bilbrey. And then day number 2 then said questions, day 2, sent, whatever the date was, from K. Bilbrey. Well, yesterday was day 5, and my dumbass, dumb, I didn't put day 5. I put day 4. I changed the date. So the date said the 15th. But I just have 2 day number 4s. I hope Ridenour and crew will forgive me, but the same thing still applies. And here's the thing. So I don't give them until the end of the day because they wouldn't see it until the next day. I normally give them until about 2 or 3 each day. That is long enough. So about 2 or 3, I normally try to send these in. Now today, I had some things going on, and I sent it in at 11:45. It is what it is. But the email says, Mayor Ridenour, I have a few questions I'm trying to get answers to. Subject number 1, is Dustin Clark working as a contract employee for the city of Muncie? Question mark. If he is, how long has he been working in that position? And again, if he is, I would like a copy of his contract. Subject 2, is the Muncie Crisis Center open? If so, when did it open? If it is not, when will it be open? Subject number 3, will you be holding a Dream with Dan again anytime soon? Subject number 4, can you point me in the direction of where your future road paving plans are? Or moreover, can you tell me when paving road repairs will begin on East McGalliard from the bypass to Broadway? Now, as soon as he answers these questions, I have a few other questions for him. The next round of questions I'm going to ask is, when are you going to start restriping the roadway? And I'm going to put in parentheses, my grandmother wants to know. And if you think I'm bad, ... And I'll just let him ponder whatever that could mean. So we'll see what he says. That'll be a good time, laugh time, So these are the questions I'm asking, and we'll see what happens. I have heard. Thank you, Space Cat. That's I will welcome that wonderfully. No, Joe Black, send me that. I'm very interested in that. Janny, as soon as because I think that you're the one that wanted to know about the McGalliard, if I'm right. As soon as I know, I will let you know. So I will keep you posted. I will tell you all that Dan, he's got something going on, and I'm telling you, he is in a world of hurt. I have heard that Dustin has been at City Hall the last couple of days, and he's just been there doing God knows what, making God knows how much money. And he's actually just had Michelle Owen in the building, just there, just waiting around, or what? It's like, bring your friends with benefits to work with you or something. Very weird, very strange. It's like not a professional building anymore. It's really, really nuts. I don't know what Dan has going on there. Yeah, that's a question I would like to know. When is he going to get rid of that hairy little animal that runs around there? Some of you call him Adam. I think he's turning into like a kiwi, a kumquat. What's that thing that can a mugwai? Gizmo? What are those animals called? You can't get them wet after midnight and feed them. Can't take pictures of them in the shower. Whatever. Gizmo. Gremlins! I knew I was close to it. Yeah, so he reminds me of a gremlin. A really big gremlin. But he's on a contract too. Dan, I'm telling you, Dan wants no real people. He wants all contract employees. I wouldn't be surprised if we had completely AI people, AI computer robot people. humanoids before too long. Dan, I think it all stems from Dan not liking people. Dan having a problem with communication. Man, I am so close to giving Dan a diagnosis, but since I'm not a doctor, I won't. I'll wait for Catherine. All right. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, he did. He did say that back in April. You're right. I know it. And I don't know. There's someone that's been waiting. I'm not putting this name out there because I don't like to do that unless other people do it. There is somebody that is waiting on me to send them some items. There's 3 items that I'm going to send you. I found one of the items today. I need to find the other 2. I will do it as soon as this episode is over. I didn't spend the weekend here in the studio, so I'm just now getting back. We had doctor's appointments today with my grandfather and all that stuff, so everything's going well there. But he's got 2 more weeks of the antibiotics, of me having to give him antibiotics at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we will be done with that, thank God. And after the end of that, then he'll be taking some by mouth, but I won't have to be giving them, to him, which is not a big deal, but it's just a pain having to be, kind of held hostage by, needing to do it and all that stuff. Hold on here a second. I want to show, I'm going to make sure that we're all appropriate here. Give me 1 second. Make sure. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that's good. Give me 1 second here, and I'll show you. Okay. Yeah. So here. Okay. Sorry. Show you here what the deal is. Okay. All right, I could have done all this earlier. Give me 1 second here. Oh. Okay. There's that. Okay. That. All right, yeah, that's that. That's basically the way to do it there. So let me find out where this next thing is. Oh, here we go. So I'll show you all here. This is just about 45 seconds of filler. Doesn't really have any purpose here, but just to show you, I'm not just wasting time. So we're going to be talking about something really interesting here, folks. We have a couple of important meetings that are going to be taking place in the next couple of days. And these meetings are going to be extremely interesting to see what happens. Yeah, right here. Yeah, see here, this I trimmed out all of the trimmed out anything bad. So here's the little port thing that's in his arm. I mean, there's nothing bad. He's just sitting there with his shirt off, but you know what I mean. So here's the port thing that's in his arm. Looks pretty cool. Hurts him far more than it hurts me, I'm sure. And then here's saline that goes in it. Ooh, look at that. I'm like a doctor. It's cool. And then here's the antibiotics that goes in it. And then here's me pushing the antibiotics in it. And it's just an all-day thing, every day, all day. And it just seems like insane. It's become so crazy. And he's like, I don't want to do it. I'm like, 2 more weeks. We could do 2 weeks standing on our head. We've been doing this for like the last 6 weeks. That'll be nothing. So 2 more weeks of that, thank God, and he's good, and he's ready to go. He's ready to go in and get the other one done. I'm like, we need to take a break. we need to slow our horses and see, if we need the other one done. We need to let you get back to using both of your arms, see if the other one stops hurting as much. Then maybe we'll talk about going in. We'll see what happens. Whatever's the best for him. All right. The point of all of that is for all of you that pray, continue praying. Please continue saying prayers for him. We see light at the end of the tunnel. 31st, it will be his last day doing the medication. So thank you for everyone that has offered your prayers, and continue, saying prayers for them and all of us that we get through it and we make it through. And I know that him and my grandmother very much appreciate it, and everything's going grand there. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow there is a Delaware County Council meeting. Generally, we would have talked about this last week at some point, and then last night I would have went over it a little bit, but honestly, I forgot last week that it's this coming Tuesday. The county council meetings are generally on the 4th Tuesday of the month, but because of the Christmas holiday and everything, they moved it up a week. Yeah, it's not a suppository. Yeah, right. Yeah, right, Stumblefoot. That's funny. Joe. So, I need to get back on the comments. I wasn't seeing comments there for a minute. All right, there we are. Thank you. What's TFE? TFE's YouTube channel. Oh, Space Cat, your grandfather's turning 84 tomorrow. Yeah. Well, happy birthday to him. So Delaware County Council meeting tomorrow. I don't know. Has anybody figured out why oh yeah, wait, back up. We'll come back to that. So one big ass target. You seem new here, which is fine. And we love new people. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Hope that you come in, kick your shoes off, try the furniture. Hope the bathroom is okay for you. Please hit the like and subscribe, share, do all of that stuff. Yeah, listen. Oh, yes, very good. Thank you. Yeah, I cannot wait to see that. I cannot wait. I love stuff like that. So I'll definitely check that out and get back to you. So, okay. Yeah, the former HR lady, before we get back to the Delaware County Commissioners, County Council meeting, the former HR lady, you're talking about Micah Wilson. So Micah Wilson used to be the big Dan fanatic. If ever there were ever someone that was one of a major Danatic, she was like one of the major Danatics. She might not have been first in line behind Dan, but she was like third or fourth. She was definitely like third or fourth in line behind the Nanatic train. So she used to treat me like shit. Her and I would get in fights. She didn't like that I would call Dan out. And then something happened. And what that something was the great eclipse of 2024. April 8th, 2024, Muncie saw an eclipse like we've never seen before and will never see again. And what happened is the city of Muncie started planning this eclipse out like 2 years ago. And at the time, we had a communications director called Michelle Owen, and she wanted to be involved. She thought it was really neat. Look, I love space stuff. That's why I'm talking. I love stuff like that. Like, that's why I'm talking to Joe Black about this thing to Antarctica. I love stuff like this. So I was like all hyped up about it too. I went and spent the day with my grandparents. My grandpa was not about it. He thought it was the end of the world. He hid inside. But my grandma came out and watched it, and it was badass. It was once in a lifetime experience. Freaking amazing. I am so upset that I'm not, it's going to be forever till we see another one of these things. You know, I probably won't, you know. That's sad to me because it was so mind-blowing. But the city of Muncie, like so many other cities in Indiana, really overshot their wad on it. Like, it was nuts. They said we were going to have millions of billions of people here and all this stuff was going to happen. Well, what had started happening beforehand, unbeknownst to everybody, Mayor Ridenour had entered into this agreement with one of his already hired department heads, Dustin Clark. Now you're like, wait a minute, you're talking to me about the HR lady. You're now talking to me about the old communications lady. Now you're mentioning Dustin Clark. Trust me, it's all related. Dustin Clark and Michelle Owen, the old communications director, they were dating, and they're still dating apparently. Well, they got involved with this Muncie Eclipse party. Well, Dustin, who was the Prairie Creek working foreman, he was a department head. He had also been working as a contract employee for the city of Muncie, making basically two salaries, you know, one salary and one hourly amount of money for doing work for the city of Muncie. And the State Board of Accounts came in and smacked Dan's hand and smacked Dustin and said, you cannot do this. And they're like, oh, okay, we won't do it anymore. So what did they do? They stopped, right? They stopped. Well, no, they didn't stop. Dustin went out and got a friend of his, which was a loser named Morgan Warden, to make this really bizarre LLC, Greenlight Resources. And they entered into this contract agreement with the city. And then Greenlight Resources did all of the work that Dustin used to do. And it was Dustin that was doing it. Dan would sign off on the claims, and the claims were always very questionable. The numbers didn't match. Sometimes they used the same number. And it was for all of this big amounts of money they were basically, in my opinion, bilking the city for. Dan would sign off on it, which means the controller's office would cut a check for Greenlight Resources. When it got to Greenlight Resources, guess who took those checks to the bank and endorsed them on the back and cashed them and got the money? That's right. It was Dustin Clark. Well, the old HR lady in April, sometime around here, she found out this was going on, and she's like, you can't be doing this. And she found a clue on a desk up at City Hall, and she apparently took a picture of it. And she told Dan and Dustin and everybody, you can't be doing this. And they laughed her off. They laughed her out of there. So she quit, and she was kind of like a whistleblower. She told everybody about what was going on. And so she did have a lot to say negatively about what Dan was doing, because Dan essentially is doing the same shit that everybody was mad at Dennis Tyler for, helping his buddies out and paying people for doing more work than they're actually doing. What's funny about all of this is, after all of that shit came out, Dustin got a 3-month paid vacation from work. He was off vacation. He was off work for 3 months paid. He came back just in time to then quit his job for the city, making, how much did we say he made last year? 53,000, 52,000, something like that. Okay, somewhere right around there is what he made doing work for the city. So they said, oh, no, that's not enough. So he quit working for the city. He quit working for the city so that Dan could hire him as a contract employee, paying him now $125 an hour. And I've been requesting the contract now since November 22nd. And I cannot get them to send it to me. It is a public record. They must send it to me. It must exist. It must be there. And Dan refuses to answer any questions about it, refuses to send it to me. They are in violation, in my opinion, of the Public Record Act. And so we're going through the motions on all of this. But it just goes to show you that even though Dan was supposed to be this prince in white, satin, isn't that a Knights in White Satin is a song, but it's also a Sopranos episode, because they mixed up knights on horses, white horses, and knights in white satin. Anyways, so Dan is not the good guy. Dan is very dirty. He does not communicate the way he's supposed to. People don't like hearing it because Dan's supposed to be one of the good guys. He's not. He's not. Okay, right there. Producer Kate just said Dustin Clark made in 2023 $53,777.18. Well, now he's getting paid. Do you know how much that is? An hour? Can you break that down like basically per hour? Yeah, it's a trend. One big ass target. It's basically a trend. Yes, sir or ma'am. Brian Stevens Hotop, Adam Leach. Yes. And listen, this is America's councilman Ryan Webb said there's corruption all within Delaware County and Muncie. I say that as someone who has peeked behind the curtain. And that is where we're going to next, my friends, the county, because that we were going to talk about the city and we were going to talk about the county tonight. We were going to talk about both of them. But what I was going to do is the county and then the city. But we just got the city stuff out of the way. Basically, the bottom line is I'm still asking him questions. He refuses to give me the answers. It's illegal what he's doing now, not giving me the answers, not providing me with the documents. The documents have to exist. By law, he cannot be paying this man without a contract. He has to. So now we're going to find that out. But as soon as Kate tells us how much he gets paid an hour, then we're going to get ready to kick over to the county.
So at $53,000 a year,
yep.
The hourly rate would be like $2.40 an hour if he's working 40-hour weeks.
What?
Well, it's $4,400, $4,500 a month.
Okay.
Okay. And how many hours do you work in a month? So 4 weeks, 160 hours, right?
Yeah.
Oh, $28 an hour. Sorry, I have one too many dots. $28 an hour.
That's what I thought. So he was making $28 I was like, I know he's not making $2.
Sorry.
Sorry. So he was making $28 an hour.
Yeah, right about.
Okay, that makes sense. That's okay for what he was doing.
Yeah.
Now he's making $125 an hour. Tell me how ridiculous. Okay, just absolute complete bullshit. No big deal. That's very important. That is no problem. That's the reason I ask you, because you can screw it up instead of me. I'm okay with you coming on and saying $2 an hour. I was like, wait a minute. I'm asking you to do the math. I'm the one that comes up with $2 an hour. I knew it couldn't have been $2 an hour. Okay. So now moving on to the county, folks. Delaware County is supposed to be having a Delaware County Council meeting tomorrow. They're going to have it a week early because of the holidays. Tomorrow is the last meeting of the year. What does this mean? Well, it means for everybody out there that hates the mean, horrible, big old bad, mean bully Ryan Webb, you're all going to be cheering, because tomorrow is Ryan's last meeting. Thank God we got rid of him. The ogre's dead. We killed him. Yay. For everybody out here that has a little bit of care about what goes on and what's going on with questions, and doesn't just want the status quo, and wants people to ask questions, and wants our elected officials to be able to work for the public and not each other or not themselves, tomorrow's not really going to be a good day. I'm very honest. I am not looking forward to the meeting in January and the meeting in February, because normally for the past 4 years, council meetings run anywhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours at the most, because Ryan Webb asks questions, and he doesn't ask questions because he's some dumb, ignorant hick that doesn't know anything. No, he knows everything that he's doing and everything that's going on. He asks questions because he gives a damn about the public knowing what's going on. What's going to happen here is, I cannot wait for this to happen. It's going to happen. When we have like our first and our second, maybe once we get into the third meeting, once they've really got their wheels under them and they're rolling, like in March, April, we're going to watch a meeting next year, March, April, May, and we're going to watch it be 20 minutes. We're going to watch it be 30 minutes. We're going to watch it be 15 minutes. And they're going to pass everything through wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. 7 votes, yay. 7 votes, yay. 7 votes, yay. 7 votes, yay. Maybe it'll be 7 votes, nay. You're never going to see it be 6-1. You're never going to see it be 5-2. You're never going to see it be something like 4-3. That just never happens. You're going to see the votes be, there's 7 counselors. The votes are going to go 7 all for yes, or 7 all for no. Or they might go 6 if somebody's absent, or maybe even 5 if 2 people are absent. But you're not going to see somebody questioning and voting for the people the right way, because Ryan is leaving. Now, maybe, hopefully, maybe Matt Kantz will ask a question here or there. But unfortunately, I'm just not seeing, I don't think he has the sack to do what needs to be done. I'm not seeing it. I've not seen it so far. He talks a good talk. He talks a good game. Matt and I agree nearly on everything federally. His take matches a lot of my take on the federal level, but he just can't seem to do that same thing. It blows my mind. He was a very big supporter of Steve Brand. Steve Brand's going to come in and do some things, I think, and I hope I'm going to like it. I think I'm going to like it. I have some faith. I've seen some things he's done so far that I've liked. But I don't know. I think the questions at the council meetings, for the most part, are done. When we see them coming in and making transfers, and we see what they did last meeting where Ed's office or Tanya working for Ed will appropriate money and spend it before it's been approved by the council, no one's going to question that. If Ryan wouldn't have been there last meeting, that would not have ever been brought up. They were prepared to vote on it. But it only got talked about because Ryan was there. So yes, maybe you didn't like his stance on masks. Maybe you disagreed with him. Leave that up to be his problem. Maybe you don't. Maybe he's brash. Maybe you don't like his outlook on the world. My question is, wait a minute. You don't like his outlook on the world and you're allowed to have an opinion about his outlook on the world? The only reason is he doesn't like your outlook on the world and he has his opinion. So it's okay for you to have your opinion about his outlook, but he can't have an opinion about your outlook? Look, I don't like or agree with every single thing that Ryan has said, but we're going to be hurting. We're going to be hurting as a council without Ryan Webb. And I think people are going to see that. It is what it is. I think that I hate saying this. It's a good and bad. I'm pretty certain at this point we've seen all of the picks that Braun's going to make. I think I can come out and say that I was wrong, that apparently Bookout will not be joining the Braun campaign, which is good and bad. Okay. It's good because if we don't want Bookout to be on the council here, he definitely shouldn't get a raise and a higher job doing something for the state government. Because if he can screw things up here and he can do shit he shouldn't be doing, he can do the same thing at the governor's administration. So it's a good thing that he's not getting a raise. It's also bad though, because I don't want him on the council here. I would have much rather had the Republicans been able to caucus somebody in. But it is what it is. Apparently, he's going to be coming in and being a counselor. Now, nobody has talked about what this means because Brad Bookout's going to be coming in as a counselor. They're going to tell you he's a Republican. He's not. He's not a Republican. He is a Democrat. He used to be a Democrat counselor, along with Democrat James King and Democrat Mike Jones and Democrat, and they all flipped over and became Republicans. Now, secretly, he's a Republican. Looky, Christmas cookie. Bradley Bookout is magically a Republican now. Okay, cool, great. So he's going to be coming in on the council. What does that have to do? What's going to happen? Is he going to give up his $200-some thousand contract that he gets paid for as a contract employee to Delaware County as the economic development director? He's currently getting paid a couple $100,000 a year as the economic development director for the county. That's contract number one. He also has another couple $100,000 contract working as the Augusta Corp. So he and his wife's business gets paid a couple $100,000 for their consulting with the county, where he makes several $100,000 a year. And then he's also the economic development director, where he gets made a couple $100,000 a year. So he makes several $100,000 off Delaware County as a contract employee. And he's now going to be sitting as an elected council member on the fiscal body in the county. And you tell me that's not a conflict of interest? I say, if Bradley Bookout wants to serve, good for you. Service to your town, your city, your county, your state, your country is an honorable thing. Give up your contracts. You get paid to do that same shit in other counties. You don't need Delaware County. Business as usual. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That is beyond ridiculous. Let me tell you the other conflict of interest. As the economic development director and his position on Augusta Corp that gets paid all these hundreds of thousands of dollars, he sits in the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission meetings. Kate says, I think the state may have something to say about him being on the council and having contracts with the county. Well, we're going to have to see. And amazingly, we're going to be talking about that very same thing right here in this episode, because something else. So we've all known that Bradley Bookout, listen, at the end of the day, the state might say, oh, it's okay. He can just recuse himself. Oh, it's okay. The business is in his wife's name. Oh, it's okay. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm not asking if this is legal. I'm asking if it's morally right, if we want this. The law is the floor, not the ceiling. It's where you start, not where you end. It's just good enough. It's not what is acceptable. Yeah. Oh, state ethics will take care of it. I'm Matt Kantz. I don't like corruption. I want things to be better. Communication, transparency, until I get there and until I become friends with these people. And then I change completely. Well, let me tell you what my problem here is. So my problem is it's going to be Delaware County Councilor getting paid whatever Delaware County salary for counselor is. He is going to be the Delaware County Economic Development Director. He's going to be working in his capacity for Augusta Corp, getting paid his couple $100,000, multiple $100,000 a year in these contracts. Well, he also sits in the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission meetings, and he tells them who they should give money to. He helps them vet projects and do all of this little stuff there, and he makes sure he doesn't like questions being asked. He just likes to say, yes, we're going to pay this. Yes, you should pay this. Yes, you should vote on this. No, doing things like that. All right. It's one of those things that they help a lot of people and they do a lot of good, but there also are questions there. There should be questions there. There need to be questions there. because it's a lot of money. These are meetings that happen on a random Tuesday, not in any government building, but they happen at the Innovation Connector, and they're recorded and put up on YouTube 2 or 3 weeks after the actual meeting. Very few citizens go. There's very little oversight here. Very, very little oversight here. All right. Yeah, right. Why have a counselor who can't vote? Absolutely. Now, I want to show you, for those of you that, people know what the council is. People know what it means to be a council member. But I'm going to show you what the Redevelopment Commission is. Okay, this is the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission. Okay, and so on this board, what you see here is this man in red. He is a non-voting member. So he is like from the school board or something. He's just there to look pretty and take notes. Your voting board are these 5 people right here. All right. Amber Green, Lex Luthor, his name's Rob Kiesling, damn it. Conyers. Give me a second here. It is what's his name? I'm off screen. Give me 1 second here. I'm looking here. So the non-voting member is John Adams. Michelle Batters is one of the females down here, right here. Bryce Conyers is the guy in the middle. Amber Green is the blonde. The bald guy is Lex Luthor, Rob Kiesling, and the blonde here is Angie Moyer. All right. Now, Bryce Conyers, Angie Moyer, and Michelle Batters, these three, they already are doing what James King wants them to do, what Shannon Henry wants them to do, what John Brook right here in the gray wants them to do, and what Brad Bookout wants them to do. The only 2 people on this board that asks questions and that makes sure the public is aware of anything and that doesn't just agree to giving lots and lots and lots of money to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes down the road that's friends with John Brook or James King or whoever. The only 2 people that question them are these 2 people right here, Amber Green and Rob Kiesling. Rob Kiesling and Amber Green. All right. Now I want to show you something here real quick. Let's jump ahead in the meeting. See this man right here? See this man right here? This is Bradley Bookout. All right. Let's listen to this for a minute.
And the 2 options are, one is a totally locally funded project.
We're listening to this
which
guy.
there will be no federal assistance.
But this guy is Bradley Bookout. See, he's got all his paperwork here. He's got his phone here. Basically, what happens is he directs this meeting, more or less. The guy in the white shirt up here, he's the president of the board, but he wouldn't say shit if he had a mouthful of it. All right? He just sits there. Yeah, right, Stumblefoot. Questions cause problems. He sits there and he mumbles through the agenda. And he waits for John Brooke, the old wise sage attorney, which I'm going to tell you, probably if we got rid of John Brooke, a lot of this would stop. John Brooke, in my opinion, is the gatekeeper to a lot of crazy shit that goes on in Delaware County. If we could get rid of him in all of these positions that he's snaked his way into, we would be better off. All right. But having
tore up my personal property, we asked where they go, and they're going to East Terra Plastics. East Terra Plastics says, I don't have anything to do with, I don't know when the trucks are coming. I don't know who's coming. I don't know what times they're coming. I don't know where they're at. I can't control what route they take. So that was the original reason for the original study to be done.
Having him on
that helps.
this as the economic development director, Delaware County Council, working for Augusta Corp, making all this money that he's making, it's a major conflict, folks. Well, let me tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. Your Delaware County government, very good possibility, Kate, on that rehab situation. Absolutely. Well, tomorrow, your Delaware County councilors are going to vote on a couple of different things. Tomorrow's Delaware County Council meeting should be interesting. We're going to live stream it. It's going to be live streaming right here on this channel, so you can tune in and watch it right here at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Now, the last meeting I did not attend. I attend. It was later. I live streamed it from here. Tomorrow's meeting, I most definitely am going to attend because I have got some things that need to be said. I will be there, God willing, and I will be there to communicate with our elected officials because I'm not happy about some things. One of the things that's going to be, in my opinion, a shit show tomorrow, very quite possibly, is the vote for the 2 Delaware County Council appointments to this board. Okay? So Delaware County Council appoints 2 members to this board. The commissioners point 3, and these are the commissioners' appointments. Okay. The school board people appoint this guy, I think, or maybe the commissioners do too, but the council appoints these 2 people. All right. This guy has been appointed a couple different times, I think. Amber, this is her first term. Now, say what you want about Amber in the communications role. Say what you want to say about Amber as a private person. She has done a good job in the role as Delaware County Redevelopment Commission board member. She has done a good job. She has served the citizens well. She has asked questions. She has held her feet to the fire. She has done a good job. There have been several things that they have done where they've had votes that I think that Rob has screwed her over. And I've been disappointed in how Rob has conducted himself. And probably one of the quickest way. I'm real wishy-washy on him. You know, my thing with Rob is he's a middleman. He plays the middle here. He plays the middle there. He's friends with these people. He's friends with that people. And the problem is he's worked himself into a position where really soon he's going to be made to either shit or get off the pot. And he's going to have to decide which way he falls. And it'll be easy. He can fall with the good guys, or his ass can fall with the bad guys. And it don't matter to me. But if he falls with the bad guys, he's an enemy of mine, and I'm an enemy of his. And that's the way it'll be. Now, he could be on our side and I could still have some issues with him, but I'm okay with it because he's on the good side. But I'm past this fence riding bullshit. All these people riding fences, I got no use for that. You know, I'm not into the whole desperado thing. Okay. So, you know, the song Out Riding Fences. Anyways, anywho, he needs to decide which side he's on. But he's done a pretty good job. But he's wobbled off sometimes. Well, they are up for reappointment. And it's my belief, I have the strong belief that the Delaware County Council should vote 7-0, maybe 6-1, 5-2, should vote to put Rob Kiesling and Amber Green back on this board. Leave it alone. Put them back on the board. Give them another round. Give them another year. Okay? I strongly believe that should happen. I want to see these two people be reappointed to the Redevelopment Commission. However, I'm getting word that Jessica, the highlighter queen, Piper, we're going to print these off next year in my grandparents' garden, and we're going to do just fine. Ugh. Sorry, I should have warned you all. Jessica Piper, who's the council president, does not like Amber. She's, I guess, jealous of Amber. She's threatened by Amber. Kiesling, Jackie, Rob Kiesling. Here is here's Amber Green and Rob Kiesling. And they are the appointments to the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission from the council. Okay? Now, let me tell you what's going on. There is some behind-the-scenes craziness and chaos being pulled by the highlighter queen and this guy who's not even on the council yet. But he is pulling some nonsense. And let me tell you, he all of a sudden has decided that he does not like Mr. Kiesling. He does not like Mr. Kiesling. And I'm going to tell you why here in a minute he doesn't like Mr. Kiesling, and it should bother you immensely. Now, Jessica does not like Amber, and Bradley doesn't like Lex Luthor here. So, what they have conspired to do is play the behind-the-scenes game to bring these two guys in. Jason Brooks, who, let me be honest, I don't have a problem with Jason. Business owner. I think he's on the school board. He's not a bad guy. I just think he's one of those guys that's not going to cause a stink. He's one of those guys who, you know, he's got a business that counts on, you know, it counts on the county and the city for stuff. He's not going to make no waves. He's not going to be causing no stink. And I understand that that's not proper grammar. I'm doing it for effect. Listen to me, folks. He is not going to be rocking the boat. He's not going to be asking the questions. Carrie Wiggerly, unfortunate name, this dude's a Democrat. Now, why would a 7 person board that are quote unquote all Republicans nominate a Democrat? That's a funky thing to do. Somebody said waiting to see what dirt that we have on Carrie Wiggerly. I'll be honest. Until this afternoon, I had no clue who that dude was. When I first heard his name, I thought it was a woman. It took me a good period of time to realize it was a man. When I looked at the picture, I'm like, I have never seen this guy before in my life. I've been involved with Muncie and city Delaware County politics since I've been 8 years old. Been involved with state and national politics. I've been doing this a very long time. I do not know who that dude is. Apparently, he's been up for boards before. I think he wanted this job last year. He got beat out maybe by Amber. No big deal. No, whatever. It is what it is. No hard feelings. If you've got dirt on him, if you're out there and you got some information about him, you want to give me the lowdown. If you want to give me the lowdown, you know how to get a hold of me. Find me on Facebook or any of that stuff there. You can email me at tpsprogram@gmail.com. Okay, it's all right there. You're also free to email me at my personal email at khbilbrey@gmail.com. That's fine too. You can hit me up on Facebook at Kristopher H. Bilbrey on Facebook. Okay. Bilbrey's Facebook. Bilbrey 318. Bilbrey 318. Facebook.com. Bilbrey 318. Or better yet, just text me. Text me at 765-546-9796. Now listen, I don't have a problem with Jason Brooks, and I do not have a problem with a man I don't know Wiggerly. I do not know him. But I'm telling you, I am not for voting for these two people on the board because Bookout wants them on the board and Jessica wants them on. I mean, oh my God. I don't want to put these people on the board because these people are afraid of these people asking questions. All right. Now, let me tell you what Rob Kiesling did to piss Brad Bookout off. And I'm not just going to tell you, I'm going to let you hear it. You're going to hear it for yourself. It apparently happened in this meeting right here. Okay. I'm going to fast forward through this and we're going to hear what happened. Let me get through this here. It's only 21 minutes.
More like operational issues.
Eric West.
This is a resolution that was discussed last.
Hammer, she says it'll be a good project to put in the tip. That'd be awesome, thank you. Lane roundabout, and it's the best level of service at that intersection.
That's fine.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
DCRC December meeting date.
Yeah, it was gonna be my recommendation to the board, so that we can clean up all of the invoicing and billing, that we have the meeting a week early in December, and move the meeting to December 5th. That would allow, the invoices to be approved, claim vouchers to be submitted, and for checks to be paid to people before year's end, and not otherwise. I know with our meeting, our regularly scheduled meeting date, it's gonna strain me and the auditor's office to get all the claim vouchers done, get them in, get them processed. It's your decision. I'm good on the time, any time that day.
I'm over.
Would you, advertise that? Thank you.
I'll entertain a motion on the invoices.
So moved.
Have a first, a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? And we have one bond.
This is just the fees for the CAMPAC bond. This will be a due reoccurring annual fee invoice that we will receive related to the CAMPAC project bond issue.
Motion. Have a first.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Any other comments, questions? Now I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion.
Second.
First. Anything that poses a challenge, Brad?
All right, hold on.
All right. The invoices, any questions on the invoices? Anything in here we need to be aware of or concerned with, or anything that poses a challenge, Brad?
Not aware of.
I'll entertain a motion on the invoices.
So moved.
Have a first, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Advertise that. Thank you. Let me just throw out a number with 2 PM on the 5th that day. I'm anticipating a lot on the agenda in December.
I'm just looking at the 5th.
It's your decision.
Business.
Give me one second here. I'm looking through this.
Make a motion to take the County Road 600 West roundabout project off the table.
Okay, I got a first
Second.
and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Aye. 3-2, moves it off the table. Do we need to do something else?
Well, the only way you can discuss this is it has to come off the table for discussion purposes.
Okay.
You can't discuss it when it's on the table because it's on the table.
Okay.
So this now allows you to have discussion about this particular issue.
Thanks, Bill. Discussion?
I think Rick has some information you want to discuss.
Okay, no one was my turn to talk, so, thank you. So, to address the project being tabled, from the last time that I was here back in September, we went back at American Structure Point, where the consultant that put the study together for the cost and everything. We went back and looked at some alternatives and options that would improve the intersection in a manner that would reduce cost, but still address the safety issues and concerns that are out there at that location. So we came up with 2 revised scenarios for the project development of more of a standard type intersection, so not a roundabout anymore, but a standard intersection.
All right, hold on here.
And then you
I'm
follow
looking specifically for
the
one
request
question. Stand by here.
Services to start.
Town board, and then the county funded that study to be completed. Rich, I know your firm received a letter of support from.
Question, like you mentioned safety and then saving money from the county's perspective.
Are not necessarily safe, using traffic when they're trying to maneuver through.
Internet or a quick way to connect your county. Related to that, when Police Chief King and others have been receiving phone calls.
So Chase, the Chase at one point said a development corridor.
If I don't go west on State Road 332.
That's a total project.
Total project.
That's not just that intersection.
Okay. So this is $650,000 just for the engineering work.
God, look at James King back there. Holy crap. What is going on, dude? Did he just write in from Yellowstone? It's more like Jellystone.
Rick provided us an estimate of 1.5 million.
On top of the 650.
But to, if, you know,
Sure. So the delta from last month,
Basically.
Engineering portion was not put out for bid.
Work on the design.
correct.
Okay. Thank you.
There was a discussion last time about planting some trees along the new sidewalk that have been put in, the trees have been removed. We prepared a resolution, which I think, and this board cannot continue to maintain those. And so we added that to
resolution 2024. To approve. I have first
Second.
and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll move on to bridge number 502.
will amount to a little over $1,036,000. Design,
Got a first and a second.
everyone, the report that was prepared, multi-lane roundabout, for points at the intersection, 5 million. I've also spoke with Kylie, and I do believe we'll need to get 4.
Any opposed?
Okay, thank you, everyone.
All
I'll bring
right.
the numbers, the contract at the next month's meeting, Brad, is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Could be right here.
DCRC December meeting date.
Yeah, it was gonna be my recommendation.
No, well, I don't know where this is. All right, folks, I apologize. I will have to look for this. I was told that it was in November. It might not. It might be in December. It might be in October. I'm going to have to go back through. Yeah, right, Kyle. I'm going to have to go back through and look. Here's the deal. I'll tell you what it is. There was a claim that was asked about. There was a claim in the redevelopment commission that they were asking the redevelopment commission to pay for. Rob Kiesling asked, "What is this claim?" He simply said, "What is this? What is this claim?" And Brad Bookout said, somebody answered, someone answered up and said something to the effect of, that was it? That was it? That was all it was? All right, so we're going to go back here and listen.
Building that we have the meeting
Date.
Yeah, it was
We need to get 4 parcels. I'll need some additional.
All right, so listen here, folks.
I'll make a motion to proceed with the roundabout.
Second. I have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, thank you, everyone.
All right.
I'll bring the numbers, the contract at the next month's meeting, Brad, is that okay?
that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
DCRC December meeting date.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
it's gonna be my recommendation to the board.
All in favor, say aye.
On 900,000, that intersection. I'd like to pursue versus around about 3.5 million. I've also spoke with Kylie Sweat area and that we anticipate over the next 2 years. This would give us the best level of service. Looking at match dollars depending on land acquisition.
I'll make a motion to proceed with the roundabout.
Second. I have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye. Any opposed?
Okay, thank you, everyone.
I don't know. I've
I'll bring
I've
the
apparently
numbers,
lost it.
The contract at the next month's meeting, Brad, is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
DCRC December meeting date.
Yeah, it was gonna be my recommendation to the board,
And, I'll review it, but just quick.
Anyways, so here's what happened. The claims were up there. Lex Luthor, Rob Kiesling says, "Is there anything in here we need to be concerned about?" And Bookout stumbles over and says no. Why he was asking him that was there was a claim in there that had to do with paying either John Brook extra to go meet with the State Board of Accounts and the FBI, or some mixture of this, because the State Board of Accounts and the FBI will continue to be looking into something in the county concerning Delaware County funds, State Board of Accounts, and the FBI. And Bookout did not like the fact that Kiesling simply asked, is there anything that we should be concerned about? Now, I'm mad at Kiesling. I think he should have pushed the question. He should have put it out there more. Bookout approached him after the meeting and said he knew exactly what he was asking about and that it was nothing. So I am now going to file a record request and get as much information about this as I can. My question is, number one, does this have something to do with Webb turning the complaints in to the State Board of Accounts? I've submitted shit to the State Board of Accounts. I know other people have submitted shit to the State Board of Accounts. Why is it being paid hush-hush through the Redevelopment Commission? And just because Rob Kiesling brought that up, just because Kiesling asked that, just because Amber dares to ask questions and doesn't just go right along with Bryce Conyers and Michelle Batters and Angie and the rest of them, Bookout and Jessica do not want these two put back on the Redevelopment Commission. They want to put these two on the Redevelopment Commission. And like I said, nothing wrong with either one of these guys. I just don't like the idea. I just don't like the idea of putting these guys on the board simply because these guys ask questions. I'm not okay with that. So here's what's been going on. Behind the scenes, Brad and Jessica have been going to their counselors and talking to them and trying to politic for their appointments to this board. And to my knowledge, I have a strong suspicion. I have a strong suspicion that we will see Jessica Piper cast a vote, not for Amber or for Rob, but we will see Piper cast a vote for Jason Brooks and Carrie Wiggerly. I'm sure that we will see her biggest protector on the council, Whitehead, will vote for these two people. I would be shocked as all get out if Flanagan didn't vote for these people. I think that if the council is wanting to do the best job possible, I would say give Amber and give Kiesling one more year to see what they do. That'll only be 2 years on the board. If you don't like him after that, switch him off. Put someone else on. Switch everybody. Don't let anybody do more than 2 years anywhere. Let Amber and Rob go do 2 years someplace else. But let them do 2 years. I mean, You're just barely getting your feet under you by the end of year one. I just don't like the idea of changing them out solely because they're willing to ask questions. I don't like the behind the scenes bullshit. Argue it out in the meeting tomorrow. Don't go behind the scenes. And why is Mr. Bookout so concerned about this? What more does he want to control? How much more does he want to have access to and it be lined up in his way? You know what they're doing? They're trying to set their cards up so they can be in line to be able to push back against Stephen Brand on the council or on the commissioners is what's going on, which it's crazy because Stephen is only one commissioner against against Shannon Henry and Sherry Riggin. So it's kind of mindless that they're willing to do that. But that's the big deal that's going to be happening tomorrow. There's also more nonsense with the auditor's office. Tomorrow's meeting was supposed to be real nice, easy in and out. But I think it's going to be more of a shit show than what people are expecting, because this is what goes on in Delaware County government. When we have people acting behind the scenes more so than they do during the meetings, we have people pulling strings behind the scenes, doing things to get their way, doing things to get their friends' way, doing things to set up to where they have the control. That is not how this is supposed to work. When is that meeting in Madison County? Is that tomorrow or is it Wednesday? Catherine, I'll call you when I'm off here. I know you tried calling earlier today. It's been a long day. When's that meeting? It's Wednesday at 1. Okay, Wednesday at 1. I'm going to try to come to that. So, that's hilarious. They had it scheduled at 9 a.m., but they missed the 48-hour mark, so they had to move it to 1. That's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. Now, to end, the last thing that I want to say just to end is we're starting to hear people talk about the fact that drones are starting to work their way this way. The drones are starting to work their way this way. I want to know what y'all's thoughts and feelings are about that. I think it's interesting. I think it's wild. People are now saying that there were some drones spotted in Henry County. There were some drones spotted in Fort Wayne. I want to tell anyone out there, if you actually don't be sending me airplanes and stars and shit like that. But if you're in the local area, if you're someplace in central Indiana and you capture a drone footage, shoot that shit to me. Send that to me. I would be interested in looking at it. And with your permission, I would be interested in broadcasting it and putting it out. So get that shit to me. You know what's interesting to me is all of this started popping up when it started popping up, like November, sometime after like the first or second week in November. What's interesting to me is a couple weeks ago, there was that whole big scare about the whole big battle in the sky that was supposed to take place on December 3rd or some shit like that? What if this is that? I got thinking maybe they got the date wrong by a little bit. My thoughts are on this, and I'll tell you, I haven't talked about this a lot. I'm interested. I'm always interested in stuff from outer space. These are not UFOs. They're not even, I mean, I guess they're technically UFOs. They are technically UAPs, all that stuff, because they are unidentified, at least to us. I can't believe anybody's even questioning this. I can't believe anybody was like, well, wait a minute, is it Iranian? Listen, no, clearly. This is our stuff. This is the United States government. If it wasn't the United States government, we would have already taken action. We would have already captured one of these things and started looking at it and deciding what it was doing. Every time you see people from the government getting on and talking about this, they're like, well, we don't know. They're all like, it's like, this is a big joke. I fully believe that this is something that is being put up in the sky, and they're either running mock tests to examine how these drones will work in fleets, to be able to test for like a dirty bomb, be able to test for nuclear bomb, something like that, EMP shit, be able to test. They're doing that. They're seeing how we react to it. Of course, we don't react well to it because everybody's acting all freaked out and, crazy. They are seeing how people react to it, and they're doing all of that. That's the thing they're testing for it. Or it's not a test. They are actually looking for shit. Why is it illegal for a citizen to shoot them down? Well, other than it being illegal for citizens to shoot at things flying in the sky due to, I would assume, FAA, whatever it is, whatever the flight shit is, I would say it's also they don't want people aiming a gun up into the sky and firing, because if you miss, that bullet that's going up at some point is going to come down. So, I think that's why they don't want people shooting at it. A matter of fact, I can't believe that we haven't heard any issues with people who have actually went out shooting at the things and the bullets coming down and doing property damage or hurting somebody. That's not going to stop the drunk rednecks here. What's the problem with drones, the wildlife and fishery? Fly them to fight poachers all the time. Yeah. So, I don't know. If anybody out there gets footage of it, if anybody has real, actual footage taken from this area, I don't want anything from New Jersey. I don't care about what's going on in New Jersey. No one cares what's going on in New Jersey. If you get footage from East Central Indiana, shoot it to me. I'll give you full credit for it. Put your name or whatever you want on. I'll put your name on it. I'll put your information out there, or I'll keep you anonymous, whichever way you want. If you're willing for me to air it, if you get footage, let me know. And shit, we'll go from there. Charlie horse, sorry. God. Oh no, that would be cool. You've seen the one-seater drone built by Cadillac. No, that would be awesome. Listen, number one, if you want to watch the Delaware County Council meeting tomorrow, tune in right here at 9 a.m. We will be watching it right here tomorrow at 9 a.m. It'll be live streamed right here on this channel. If you want to watch it, tune in. If you then want to come back tomorrow evening, we will break down everything that happens. We'll be discussing all of that, and we'll be gearing up for Wednesday's meeting in Madison County. And then Wednesday night, we'll have Catherine on, and we'll break down what happens at that meeting and go through all of that. We've got a busy week planned, and everything, ladies and gentlemen, is oh, well, nothing's going on this month. I forgot it's still December. I was wishing time away. So, well, I was going to say everything's leading up to the inauguration, but that's still a month away. So, I don't know what I was saying. We'll have a good week this week. We got a lot of content. So we'll see what happens. You guys have a great Tuesday. We'll be back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. for the meeting and at 9 p.m. for the breakdown. You guys have a great day. God bless each and every one of you. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Goodbye.